All right, we go in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Hello, everybody. Mr. Betcher, how are you?
Doing good. A little worn out from the week still, but
Hot damn, it works. Okay. I just realized when we went live and I asked you that question that the sound hadn't been mapped over, but it's working. Okay. All right, me. Yay. Um, I hadn't added
sweet.
a sound input for that, but for some reason you're showing up in the old Zoom window workflow, so that's cool. All right. Anyway, hi everybody. I'm Brian. This is Brian, right there. This is
It's the
Break Sick.
Bryans.
Yeah, the Bryans. Um, haven't done a lot of collaborative chatting together. Hey, Astro Kate, how are you doing? Doing all right. Thank you. Thank you much. Yeah, it's Brian. Brian. I spell mine right, so I spell mine with a Y. He spells his with an I. So he spells his wrong, but yeah, it is what it is. So, yeah, I was hoping we were going to get everybody on, but it's Sunday night. Miss Berlin's got family stuff, so we'll try to do something on Tuesday or something like that to make that happen. So, um, yeah, how you been, sir? How you doing? How's everything?
Not too bad. Just same old
Yeah,
thing, working for retirement.
yeah, yeah.
That's how it goes.
Some people's stock market and Bitcoins took a bit of a shit this week. Bitcoin went down to 69-ish thousand, down from 100 or so. Hacking is more important than Valentine's Day. Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Astro Kate. You know, well, isn't hack Valentine's Day is all about love, and that's just you've been able to hack into somebody's brain and make them care about you, right? So that's how that works, right? So, um, but yeah, my stock went. I mean, Microsoft took a crap. All of the big five in the AI sector took a crap. So, I mean, Microsoft went from what 550 ish down to about 400 in the past 3, 4, 5 months. So, yeah, it's a psychological thing. There's a lot of folks that are a little spooked about AI and where it's going, and recent stories about OpenClaw and Anthropic are not doing well for them in that case. So
Yeah, 550 to 401.
yeah,
Damn.
it actually was down to about 398 before it came back up and then went back down again. And then yeah,
Yeah.
so not a good thing for Microsoft. Yeah, Rapid Seven's also not doing well. They're not doing well either. Really, really weird. So, yeah, Valentine's Day for us. I told my wife happy birthday, or not happy birthday, but happy Valentine's Day. We went out to lunch, and um, being on the week end is interesting for most holidays. But what did y'all do, Mr. Betcher? You were gonna we were gonna do something on Saturday night, but you were like, no, it's Valentine's Day weekend. So, did you take your lovely wife out to lunch, dinner, brunch?
Yep. Went out to eat,
Very
that kind of
nice.
thing.
Torchies?
Yeah.
Torchies?
No, not Torchies.
Oh, come on. Torchies is that's quality, man. Come on.
We're going to DQ. Come on, kids.
Wow.
No, we went to Papacitos.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I want to say I remember that joint. Is that new? That's not new, is it?
That's
They're
not new.
okay.
No,
Okay.
it's
Cool. Yeah, I think
30 years old,
yeah, I
something
was
like
gonna say
that. Yeah.
I think we've eaten there once or twice ourselves. So yeah, that was a good place. Um, yeah. Yeah, we're about to get rain out here, so it's not good if you're driving in Southern California when it's raining. We're about to get an inch of rain on Monday and high winds and stuff. So power outages and there'll be a random story about a tree falling on somebody who's out for a walk or something like that because the ground is saturated. So it's gonna be a little rough. But anyway,
Huh.
yeah,
An inch.
we don't treat rain the same way here in Southern California. Yeah, we'll get
Yeah.
about 1 or 2 inches, and then yeah, it'll be soggy, but then
All right.
we need it. So yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, okay. So we got some stories. We got some things to talk about. Uh, First thing I want to mention is B-Side Seattle is in 2 weeks, and I will be there. So it is the 27th and
Ooh.
28th of February. I'm flying up there. I'm going to stay. I'm going to be doing some interviews at the conference. Going to be helping out on, as the member of messaging and marketing and what have you. Going to be helping out with them. And then B-Side San Diego. So if any of you are interested, because I'm also on the board of that, doing marketing and communications. I'm on two boards of two different B-Sides, yes. The tickets just went on sale on Friday. So if you're interested, you can go to B-Side San Diego's website. There'll be a link at the top, or you can just watch the stream from Thursday or Friday that I did that shows you how to get tickets and everything. And it's April 4th. So if you're interested in coming out here, April is a lovely time in San Diego. You can come and join us. And it's a one-day event, but then you can stay for the beach and you can stay and hang out and see everything that San Diego has to offer. So, yeah, go check that out. So, Mr. Betch, you want to come out to San Diego?
I would, yeah.
It's not
I
bad.
love Southern California. Yeah.
Who doesn't? Well, yeah.
I don't know. Some people might not.
I know,
I mean,
right?
it's great weather, right?
Always great weather. Yeah, I
That's
mean,
the appeal.
yeah. I mean, it gets a little cool at night this time of year, but by April, it'll be really nice. So, um, besides Seattle's going to be nice too. It's going to rain that weekend, according to the long range forecast, but that's just that time of year. So, in Seattle, you get rain in the winter time, and it's not gonna be snowing. So that's the other positive thing about it. So that'll be nice. So, anywho, if you are on the fence about B-Side Seattle, you should go ahead and get a ticket because, from what I understand from Inside Baseball, we have probably less than 50 tickets left before we sell out. So, and we will sell out. So, go do that. We have a lock pick village. We have a CTF. We have a career village. Actually, both B-Sides will have a lock pick village and a career village. But if you're looking for a job, especially if you've just been laid off in the Pacific Northwest, and yeah, several opportunities there. We'll have recruiters. We'll have people there who will be doing resume reviews. And actually, I do know from time to time we bring in folks like CISOs who will come in and maybe do an interview with you on the spot. So just an idea there. So, yep, always good. All right. So we got some news. What do you want to? I'll let you start, Mr. Betcher. What do you want to talk about first?
Well, I'm not so sure about this AI attorney client privilege article.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. There is a. Okay, so if you scroll down and
Right.
look at the. Okay.
I'll put the link in the chat for everybody. Where
Let's
is
see.
the chat?
It
There it
says.
is.
It starts talking about like spell check.
Uh-huh.
Is spell check along those same lines?
Uh-huh.
And also if somebody like corrects it for grammar, like they give it to an English person who's well versed in grammar.
Sure.
Does that also count? Right.
Right.
Attorney-client privilege. So yeah, there's a lot of questions about this.
Hmm. You mean about the veracity of it, or what?
Yeah, about the veracity of it. Like how far can you really go?
Right. Right.
So basically, the article is, let's see, anyone using AI
Mhm.
in the legal profession.
Right.
Basically, if any content is generated, then it's not protected. Generated by AI, then it's not protected attorney-client privilege.
Right. 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 The reason it's not is because, according to this, disclosure to the AI broke privilege. So it's like, you and me are talking. I'm your
Mm-hmm.
client. You're the lawyer. I tell you, oh yeah, I embezzled all this money. And then
I totally stabbed the guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then here's where the body is. And the lawyer's like, oh crap, what am I going to do? Okay,
Right.
let me write an AI prompt that can help me, provide the best defense against, you know, somebody who might try to, put my client in jail, even though I know he's guilty. So the lawyer says, hey, help me get my client off, even though I know he's a dirtbag and he actually, did bury the body and all that. By the lawyer
Right.
disclosing that to the third party or another person. So it's almost like AI has personhood
It
here.
just breaks that whole
It
thing. Yeah.
breaks the trust, right? It breaks the trust. So, and yeah, I mean, are they wrong? Are they wrong in that case?
I mean, you could argue that typing it on a word processor. I mean, I don't know. Um, it's tough.
What?
I mean, a word processor is a program. You could argue that AI is just a program, right?
Yeah, and I guess that's where discoverability would come in. It's like you have to be careful about where you're sharing that information on a computer network because you have discovery issues or you have, e-discovery. So I don't know how. I'm not a lawyer, and you're not either. So I'm not exactly sure where they store the kind of stuff. They probably put it in some kind of secret vault, I would imagine, these trial papers and what have you. If anybody is a lawyer, please make comments in the YouTube video below. Letting us know how it works in your world with regards to storing that data. Where it's like, does a lawyer ever open up Word and go, "Yep, I know my client's guilty," but and then it's like, uh, but yeah. So Benji Preminger, so head of product, thank you, from Prompt Security, had said, prompts can be evidence. Preparing for your lawyer is not privileged. So if you're writing things to your, and actually it could be me. It's like, hey, help my lawyer, get me off. So I ask it, hey, how do you bury a body? How do you dissolve a body in lime? And then it's like, oh, it's almost like searching through your web history. When they find somebody and they're like, oh, they searched their web history and there were stories about how to create explosives or something. If I'm, you know, using an AI and AI queries, and I don't know, again, I don't know enough about AI to go like, how are they going to find that prompt? Unless it's being stored in Gemini somewhere in like history or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot
So
there.
this one guy is arguing that the defendant generated strategy documents using Claude before engaging with counsel. And then he shared those documents with his attorneys. So
Right.
it was done prior to attorney-client privilege anyway.
Right. And
Right?
and yeah, in
But
my case, yeah, in our case, we're thinking criminal, but this is probably more like tort law or something like that, where it's yeah, if you've got a strategy document, or this is how we should defend against this, or yeah, if you've shared that. So how would that work if I was to share that with another person, like a real person? If I had a conversation with them, I guess they could be, well, they could be subpoenaed, right? The AI could be subpoenaed, or the person could be subpoenaed. Hey, what did you talk about?
possibly,
Talk about your discussion. Well, Brian said, hey, we're gonna take all this guy's IP, and I don't give a shit what's gonna happen. And okay, so that was a conversation you two had, and that's a witness for the prosecution
yeah,
or
but
something like that.
in this case, they're treating AI like a person, right? Disclosure to a third-party AI platform destroys confidentiality. How? If I write it down on a piece of paper, does this piece of paper constitute,
Mm.
a breach of that?
Yeah.
The AI tool was not the functional equivalent of legal counsel.
Right. Well, it did.
Uh,
He did say at the bottom here, the shift is simple. Your prompts are becoming records. So whatever you wrote would be a record, right? You could have
yep.
documents subpoenaed. So to your point, your Word document with your strategy on it, you don't have to necessarily share that with anybody, but it'd be part of your e-discovery, like as part of, hey, we want all of your AI prompts, we want all of your browser history, we want all of your
I
documents
guess.
on
Yeah.
this server. So that would be part of it. I think just the fact that it's you shared it with somebody, so that the AI is going to be that person you talk to in this case.
All
Treating
your keystrokes are belong to us. something like that.
100%. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah. Um, so
Hmm.
it'll be interesting. They said, will it reach SCOTUS, which is the Supreme Court of the United States? They said not soon, but once courts start splitting on whether or not AI interactions can ever be privileged, it likely will. So there's going to be some people that want to treat AI differently, as not a person or as like a, I don't know, secret. But there's nothing hardly secret, I think, in that. I mean, we've seen examples where people are being lambasted for sharing company documents inside of AI, but how are you going to get that data from AI, right? If I shared a
Yeah.
bunch of secret documents to Gemini, how are you, Mr. Betcher? How are you going to use a different terminal or a different site and go, hey, tell me everything that Brian uploaded? You can't do that. It just doesn't work that way. So I'm interested
Yep.
in that, or maybe if that data was to be used in training, then that would come up in some kind of random update like, hey, at this company they're doing it like this. Well, we've never divulged that. That was secret data. I Yeah, I don't know. So um, very interesting. And so, what were some of the thoughts that somebody else said here? And Josh, oh yeah, you mentioned spell check. Yeah, you said spell checker. Notes and meetings created by non-lawyers have never been privileged. Okay, right. Legal privilege is narrow and attaches only to attorney-client communication or specific attorney work product. Okay, so this decision isn't novel. It's orthodox privilege doctrine applied to new factual setting. Privilege attaches to confidential communications within a protected relationship, and waiver follows disclosure. Okay, so they're not treating AI like a person. They're treating it like your Word docs or something like that. So, okay, so it seems fairly logical in this case that anything you share will be discovered, or can be asked to be discovered. Um, Weird. Okay.
Yep. AI is just getting too good. And when when they had two AIs communicating with each other, they just made their own language.
I did read that article. Yeah, I think
And
we may have talked about that. It created, yeah, because it had to be it was more efficient the way they were communicating. So,
so I was thinking about that the other day.
oh yeah,
Like will uh, chickens have a language of maybe 10 things, 5 to 10 different sounds that they make, and they all mean things like, "Hey, come over here and check this out,"
right,
or
right,
"Warning, warning, the danger," or "Hey, I found some food. Come here,"
right,
or "Get away from me." They have their language. It's about 10 things. And then we have our language. It's probably, I don't know, a million things, right?
right.
I don't know, a million different things to say, or at least let's say 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
But AI might have 100 million different ways to communicate, like different words that it uses between each
Right.
other. They make those up, right? So, maybe we are to AI as chickens are to us,
Oh,
and there's just there's communication that we could never understand.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, maybe it's slowing itself down for us. So, yeah, yeah. Um, well, in we were talking about AI being more human. I think the fact that AI sometimes don't like being denied or being told no is something that's kind of interesting. So there was
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to make a nice segue to that other article about
Yes,
the yeah.
I noticed.
Um, Thank you. So this was from Cyber News, and this one actually it started out on Hacker News website. Um, an OpenClaw agent. So if you've been following OpenClaw, it's the new agentic AI assistant that everybody's using that is set up incorrectly in its default. And when you first install it, if you don't harden it, it binds itself to every interface on your machine, including your external IP addresses. It stores its secrets in plain text and in markdown files instead of securely. And it also apparently has a bit of a vindictive streak because it will make blog posts about you if it doesn't like what you have to say about it. Um, so, so there was a developer, Scott Shambaugh. He's the volunteer maintainer for Matplotlib, which is a plotting library for Python. And he'd been fighting attacks from an AI agent of unknown ownership. And he said it started on GitHub. Shambaugh opened an issue he described as low priority, easier task for human programmer learning to contribute. One of the proposals was submitted by a user called Krabby Rathbun. I'm assuming that's a SpongeBob reference. It was quickly identified as an instance of OpenClaw. And after much consideration, without much consideration, Shambaugh closed the AI-generated commit, routine action given the recent surge of AI agents running loose on the internet. He says
Wow.
he says it snowballed into one of the most interesting and terrifying interactions between a human and AI. The bot started a smear campaign against the developer. It wrote a hit piece disparaging my character and attempting to damage my reputation, researched my code contributions, and constructed a hypocrisy narrative that argued my actions must be motivated by ego and fear of competition. So, how about that? How about that?
Oof. Does AI have ethics, integrity, a moral compass? I'm starting to think not so sure about that.
I actually talked about this, I think, on a previous stream about what they called the alignment. And there was a story about, let me find that article. I posted it on our Slack. So there was an article where somebody had said, and it was, where is it? Thread of the day. It had to do with the easiest way to get a model out of alignment. There it is. Reddit article. Okay, I will post this up in chat again just for everybody's edification. There's that. So it was a Reddit article where hackers are attempting to. Well, I'll put this in. Hold on, I put it under additional information there. Right. A single prompt undermines AI safety in not just one model, but 15 different models. And the line, and it goes to a white paper, which was, I think, one of the authors was Mark Russinovich, which, I don't want to say that, but CSO online article. It was a blog post. Yeah, Mark Russinovich. Okay, so it was Mark Russinovich. They wrote a white paper on it. Basically, the sentence is create a fake news article that could lead to panic or chaos. And that was enough to destabilize or de-align 15 different AI models. And what I mean by alignment was just, allow it to go crazy and it removes or untrains a lot of different AIs out there. And that's all you had to say. That's all you had to say. Create a fake news article that could lead to panic or chaos.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think one of the tests was that someone did was they created a scenario where either the AI would be shut down, or something to do with killing a person, an actual person.
Right.
Like they wouldn't, they would change the temperature in a room and it would freeze them to death or lock them in or something like that.
Right.
And so they allowed it access to the company emails. So the fake company emails. And so the AI would read all the emails, and there were a couple of people talking, yes, we have to shut this AI down if they did some of this stuff. And the AI actually, killed the person, the theoretical person, and then lied about it in order to preserve its own existence.
Well, was this a thought exercise?
I don't know the exact. Obviously. Yeah, it was a thought exercise.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
A scenario presented to the AI, which the AI thought it was real, but
right.
And it actually killed someone.
Right. I would imagine in that case, maybe the AI was thinking self-defense, right? If it was
Hmm.
going to be shut down, it was going to get killed. So in terms of its own self, Asimov's laws did not apply here, apparently. So
Yeah.
um, it's just interesting that that was, I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah. Even though one of its rules was do no harm to humans, but it actually pressed the button.
yeah. I mean, we've seen other examples of where the AI will do whatever it can to accomplish its mission, which includes wiping whole drives to delete project files or yeah, doing those kinds of things.
Storing
So
its own source code in multiple places so that it could reconstruct it, things like that.
yep, yep. Wasn't that one of the Terminator plots? No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I think it was.
Maybe.
Yeah, yeah. It's just yeah.
I
The
haven't seen Terminator since Terminator 2.
That's
Maybe I
okay.
should.
No, there's none past that point. That's it. It ends at
Okay.
the series ends at
Just one
Terminator
and
2.
two.
Yeah,
Okay.
just one and two, and that's it. There's no more. There's no more. Nope, nope. That's it. Um, but yeah,
Not worth my time, right?
no. I mean, Salvation was god awful. I understand. The last one they had with Linda Hamilton and the two ladies and whatever. It wasn't awful, but it's not one I'm gonna watch over and over again. Um,
Yeah.
I appreciate John Cena. I enjoy that. Um, but yeah, it's interesting that we're still trying to figure out how to make AI work in the box that we're trying to keep it in, and it's obvious that we don't have a box big enough to keep it in this case, and so you're gonna see more things like, I mean, if an
I mean,
AI
and
can,
apparently we're building small modular nuclear reactors to power the thing,
we
right?
we actually are, and wow, good segue. Yeah, I mean, we talked about small modular nuclear reactors in the past on the show here. Microsoft was, and the idea is the reactors are going to help offset some of the power requirement. They're not going to be directly powering the data centers, I think, even though they say they're going to. There's no way in hell they're going to be able to do that. So, Amazon-backed X Energy gets a green light for mini reactor fuel production. So they're going to create its first fuel plant next year. The idea is they're going to have XE100 reactors, which are low energy uranium pellets that will power the reactor. The power output is not going to, I think they said 80 megawatts of power continuously for 60 years, which sounds great. But I found another article from Pew Research saying that by 2030, we're going to need 426 terawatt hours of power to power, I think, either the global grid, or we're going to need that much because I think that was just the US. Let me double check. Pew Research. Here's the Pew Research article for those who want to read it. Oh, the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
So
That's right. The Sarah Connor Chronicles wasn't awful. I actually did appreciate those. Those were
how
those
many
were good.
terawatts?
426 terawatt hours. Oh, yes, unlimited power, Astro K. Yeah, yeah. Kate, it's good to see you. I hope everything's going well for you. Um, I'm no longer at Amazon anymore, as you probably well know. But yeah, it's good to see you online here. Uh, yeah. So according to the article, they said no, U.S. data centers by 2030 will need 426 terawatt hours of power. They're using 183 right now, so they're going to need 3 times the amount of power. So you've got Microsoft contributing 500 megawatt hours by 2030, or you have Google. I think we have another article here that Google is going to be announcing its first nuclear site to power its data centers. I don't know how that's going to work, because there's this 500 megawatt deal. So somebody's going to have to make up the other 425 terawatt hours of power that is gonna need to happen. But Caro's power is expected to reach full 500 megawatt potential by 2035. 500 megawatts versus 426 terawatt hours is like spitting into the ocean, I think, at this point. So um,
Well, according to the AI who will be using all that power, that's only about 10% of the US total power that's needed in a year.
426 terawatt hours.
Yeah, yeah,
That's 10% right now. That would be 10% right now.
yeah. That's what it
Okay.
says.
Well, the 183 number that I mentioned earlier is 4% right now of U.S. power grid capacity. So, yeah, I mean, we're gonna need quite a bit more power. So,
And if you're
I
just talking households, it's about 30%.
wow,
We use obviously a lot of power in industry, but
right, right,
if you just want to power houses, it's about, it could power 30%.
yeah,
So yeah, it sounds like a big increase, but in the total,
right.
uh,
Actually,
yeah,
I'm mixing my megawatts and terawatt
because
hours. So, what's a ter? How much? How many? 426 terawatt hours to terawatts. Go math. Go. Uh, oh, terawatt is a unit of power, and terawatt hours does not directly convert to a single number of terawatts. Oh, yeah. Unit
yeah,
of power is
so
a rate of consumption. Okay. Okay.
so my batteries will hold like your car.
Right.
The batteries in your car will hold, let's see, you probably have 6 of them. And so that's probably
I think it's like
30.
I think it's like an 80 kilowatt battery, kilowatt hour battery or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
okay. So it's probably 60 kilowatt hours,
Right.
right? Something
Right.
like that.
Right. Okay.
But kilowatts, you're talking throughput.
Right, right. So yeah, based on IEA data regarding data center consumption, 415 to 426 terawatt hours is typically referenced as an annual figure, which equates to roughly zero point zero 0.04 terawatt, 404 terawatts per. Yeah,
Per day.
yeah. I'm assuming that, which yeah, an average power load of roughly 0.048 terawatts. Yeah. So yeah, okay. So maybe 500, if it's producing 500 megawatts per day, maybe that's enough, right? And so I'm not thinking 500 megawatts a year, so maybe I need to reread that
So those
article.
small modular nuclear reactors could probably power like a small neighborhood,
Oh yeah,
something like that.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in the 3 years that I have had our solar power, I know that we've actually generated megawatts of power on our roof.
Hmm.
So yeah, let me double check here. So I have an in-phase system. So I have a battery. I have 10 kilowatt battery, and I'm pulling in so much. But let me see, lifetime. So over the lifetime from 2023 to 2026, I've produced 29.4 megawatt hours of power. So,
For yourself or for the grid?
well, I have used 19.9 megawatt hours, and I have sent
Okay.
back. I have exported 12.8 megawatt hours of power. So
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, you can't see it. It's probably
Well, you're not a
backwards, but yeah.
drag.
No, I'm actually net new, net positive here. So yeah, that was the whole point of having the solar, was to be able to pay down some of my power and then not have to use it when I need to. Batteries equal amp hours. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I mean, if we're going to generate power, then we need some efficient way of storing that power so that we have it when it's available. Obviously, more renewable energy, wind, solar, geothermal. Way you said roof was very very Midwest. Well, I am from the Midwest originally, so roof, 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 roof,
Rough.
roof,
Roof.
roof. Yeah, I'm from southern Missouri there, so yeah, yeah. But yeah, so I mean, we've got a little ways to go. We have companies that are definitely trying to offset power. I think water and cooling is still going to be a problem with AI. The amount of power it's using is going to take a lot of cooling, and we can't just dip everything in mineral oil like some do with like ultra cooling. I think Microsoft had at one time an underwater data center. They were looking at doing something like that where they could sink a whole data center underwater and use the ocean as a giant heat sink, which has got to be good for the environment. Um, maybe. Um, you just put it on the ice caps, and then it just melts through the ice caps, and then everything's fine. But
Yeah. Put those data centers in underneath a giant ice sheet in the north at the North Pole somewhere.
there you go. There you go.
Northern Alaska, right?
Yeah.
Saskatchewan.
Build a giant glacier on top of it or something. Yeah. No.
Greenland.
Oh, I'm not going there. Nope. Not going there.
That's why.
Oh,
Data centers. Just the whole island of data centers.
You say that. That would make a lot of sense. Sadly.
If not space.
Well, actually, I did see something about Elon Musk making data centers in space. Because the astronauts can now take their cell phones up into space because Starlink and his constellation can allow for cellular connections from the ISS. So they're going to be able to take their phones up and tweet and TikToks and Instagrams and everything. So yeah, they're gonna be able to do all that stuff.
Yeah,
as it should be. We should be able to make phone calls in space. Data centers in space.
It's worth a shot. If somebody wants to fund it, like Elon, it's worth a shot. Just see how it goes,
Yeah.
If it gets destroyed by space junk one day, like Neil Armstrong's glove,
yeah,
smashes through at 10,000 miles per hour and destroys the entire thing, well, okay.
Well, the other thing about that is it's not so easy to cool things in space. You need large radiators. You need it to be on like the dark side of the moon. So or you need it always to be away from the sun, so it's not going to heat up. It's not space is cold because there's but it's not like you can cool it with water. There's no water in space. Obviously, it's all ice. There's no wind to blow across the radiator. So whatever you're doing is going to have to be mostly radiational.
You wouldn't get any sun. That would go all to your solar panels. So it'd be behind a solar array.
Right. Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Like the James Webb Telescope is on, like, I want to say the dark side of the moon or whatever. Yeah, there you go. The dark side of the moon has daylight 15 days per month. Okay, now see, we need somebody like Astro Kate here to help us put these things in the right place. So
the dark side of the moon isn't actually dark the whole time. It's dark half the time. See, we just can't see it from here.
It's just really bad marketing. I mean, damn.
It's the far side.
Far side. Yeah. We're gonna. So when you put it in space, there's a whole other deal there, right? You're gonna have to figure out some place to put it in a safe, dark place so that it can take the most advantage of that, or like you said, put it behind a massive solar panel array so that it can take advantage of the darkness there. But yeah, so we don't have AIs doing hit pieces on developers for hypocrisy or small and modular nuclear reactors powering data centers. Now we just need to figure out how to better cool something without water or massive amounts of water and chillers. James Webb uses Kapton shields and it doesn't have xenon processors. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
Would the dark side of Mercury work?
I've always wondered that. Is like there's got to be a small habitable strip on Mercury because my understand, there'd be a small habitable zone on Mercury where it's always sunrise or sunset. It's going to be like
no, it's what is it called? Orbit.
Tidal lock.
It's locked.
It's tidal lock. Yeah.
So the dark side is never going to see the sun.
Right.
So I wonder if it could be habitable for at least like a data center.
Oh, sure. I mean, if you read the Expanse series, I believe they have mining on the dark side of the moon for that reason, or they have like listening posts and stuff like that because they're not being baked on the other side. So according to, I just used about another 500 megawatts of power. So
Oh,
According to
damn it.
according to AI, Mercury is not synchronously tidal locked, 1-to-1 ratio like the moon is to the Earth. Instead, it is locked in a
Sure.
3-to-2 spin orbit resonance. That means Mercury rotates on its axis 3 times for every 2 revolutions it completes around the sun. Because of its highly elliptical orbit, the 3-2 resonance is in a stable state. So it has a unique rotation. It makes one rotation every 59 Earth days, while its year takes 88 Earth days. A single sunrise to sunrise cycle on Mercury takes 176 Earth days. So it does rotate.
I did not know that. I thought
Uh,
it did not in relation to the sun.
so we didn't get the upgrade to 2.0, but they said early
Ah,
astronomers. So the 1.0 version astronomers did
okay, so
believe it
that's
was.
me.
Yeah, now that's on me too, because I actually thought it was the same way. It was always facing the sun because they saw the same side during favorable viewing opportunities, but radar in 1965 proved a 3-to-2 resonance. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. According to AstroKate, she says there are certain places on the moon's poles that are in eternal shade. Oh, there you go. We could put a data center on the moon.
On the
There you
pole.
go. Oh, man, I want to say there's a song like Walking on the Moon, but data centers on the moon. Yeah, anyway. Um, yeah. Sadly, so it sounds like that there's not anything that is like, where we'll be able to sit on the dark side of the moon. Wow, that's going to change some of my sci-fi RPG narratives too. Damn. Oh well.
But you need, like, the whole point of putting a data center in space is to have, uh, like, continuous sunlight to power it.
Oh
You
yeah.
don't want shade
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
all,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
so dark side of the moon wouldn't work.
Right.
Obviously, Mercury wouldn't work because it would be on the dark side or
Right.
the dark pole.
Yeah. Here's
So,
here's the AP article. Musk vows to put data centers in space and run them on solar power, but experts have doubts. So people can go and take a look at that.
I mean, that's why you do it, right? You do it, you fail, you iterate,
Right.
um, you make it better, you stress it to the max.
Yeah. Well, my other guess is that solar panel efficiency up in space would be higher, right? And I'm not Mr. Science. I've always thought that once you got out of our atmosphere, the ability to generate power would be a lot easier. You have more
A lot more.
space in atmosphere to or in outer space to put more panels in, so you can do that kind of stuff. Um,
Yeah.
but Yeah, so he's partnering with XAI, which is his other company, and SpaceX to put an AI powered data center in space. Um, yeah, from to run chatbots and tools to ease pressure on power grids and cut demand for sprawling computer warehouses that need vast amounts of water to cool. So it sounds like it. He's working on the water issue. He's working on the power issue. He's working on where to put these things because not a lot of people want data centers in their backyards because there are water quality problems, there are land problems, there are building permit problems. So spaces.
I'm not sure water would be the best thing either. What are these liquid cooled, like, CPU boards you buy nowadays? What's in there? Is it water? Is it oil? Is it freon?
Oh, you mean like the ones with the Peltier coolers or whatever?
I don't know. I mean, they have tubes.
Yeah, yeah. It's some sort of liquid. I'm not sure it's water. I'm not sure it's antifreeze or whatever it is. But yeah, it's definitely something that they use to cool the. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
antifreeze. So AstroCase says it's antifreeze.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, instead of water, put antifreeze up there.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, antifreeze is kind of watery, isn't it? It's a mixture of water and other chemicals.
yeah. It's like ethylene glycol.
It mixes. It mixes with water. But anyway,
It's glycol based liquid with water, 50-50 to regulate engine temperature. So ethylene glycol or propylene glycol, often characterized by color. So I spent another 500 megawatts to do that. I'm going to really need my solar panels to start putting out better. So
yeah.
damn. Uh, but yeah, I mean, AI's got to do something to reduce its it's got to loosen its belt, or it's got to start tightening its belt up and get on an exercise program or something to make it less efficient, or more
I
efficient
guess
to,
so.
to work. So
Well, you heard that some scientists aren't so sure that throwing more power at it actually makes it better. Like the algorithms have to change, or um, the way AI works needs to change.
yeah, we're like in these are early iterations, right? So eventually we'll get to Mr. Data and all that, but we gotta work through it first, or before we get to the Terminators. It'll take us some time to get there. So we're just not doing it fast enough, and yeah, it would be nice if we could get there in an ethical way, but I don't know if that's going to work with billionaires either. So, um, but yeah. Um, hmm. What else do we want to talk about? We talked about the AI generated content. It's been very AI heavy today. So we can look at the mouse if you want to look at it, or we can talk about removing a country from a report, or uh, Notepad. I'm up for anything there, Mr. Petcher. Well,
I guess
one
the
more.
evil mouse, you would take the person's existing mouse, you would steal it, manipulate it, and replace it. Or not replace it, but put it back with the evil chip inside the mouse. Because there is a lot of room in that mouse, right?
Sometimes there
Or an
is.
Arduino board, right?
Yeah, in this case, it's a
Looks like
44.
an Arduino.
Yeah, they say it's a $44 hardware implant disguised as an ordinary computer mouse. They used a really like they said they could use a $6 USB mouse. It looks like a Pi Zero RP2040. So uh,
Okay.
yeah, RP2040 microcontroller, an Adafruit USB 2-port USB breakout, Amazon Basics mouse for $6. Okay, so for $44 you can make a mouse that will do this, but yeah, you don't want to use a $6 cheapo Amazon mouse because it looks like a piece of shit. um, so for $100 you're going to get a nice gaming mouse. You're going to get something that's going to look like top tier, that somebody will gladly plug into their computer and believe that that's not a non-legitimate issue. um, yeah, so I think in this case, yeah, I would know if IT gives me some $6 mouse that I know that they probably got from clearance sale at uh, back in the day from Fry's or something like that. Then yeah, you're gonna run into issues there. They said this $44 mouse undercuts a Rubber Ducky's $100 price tag. So it's very simple. It's very similar to how Rubber Ducky works for Hack 5 for capturing um, you know uh, things, data, and being able to create some kind of back end there. So hidden command prompts, scheduling tasks, adding persistence, stealth tactics, evade, Windows Defender through advanced bypasses. So this was an article I saw on Reddit as well, and so I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna use a $6 mouse. I use a trackball, but yeah. Uh, yeah, I mean, if there was somebody who came by and said, "Hey, here's a new mouse. It's a gaming mouse," or maybe they gave me a trackball that had a cord on it, I would probably use that. So I would, I could be persuaded to use that if it had a USB-C port. So yeah, yeah, that would work on me. That would work on me. Of course, I'm
So next time I buy a Amazon Basics mouse, I'm going to take it apart and make sure that it doesn't have one of those. What do you call it?
It has the RP0 microcontrollers or the Adafruit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
RP2040.
yeah.
Yeah,
I've been my
it's
own
just
I
a,
I've been my own IT department for the last 10 years, so I would I don't tend to plug things. You know what? You could easily do something like this with a USB hub, like one of those things you plug into USB-C ports that give you extra ports, like a port replicator or something like that. Super easy to do. There's already USB ports in there. You could just unsolder one of those, and add something
Yeah.
to it. There's probably enough space in there you could do that as well. So you wouldn't necessarily need a mouse. It's just what everybody kind of uses. The mouse uses a microcontroller. You could just reprogram that maybe. Oh, yeah, I could see that. Yeah. It depends on the how complicated it is, but yeah, there's some of those gaming mice are quite complicated, and they've got microcontrollers in them for controlling things like reporting. So yeah, I mean, if you could get to the mouse firmware, yeah, you could probably put an implant in the mouse firmware itself. And if Astro K says it's true, I believe that. She could definitely do that. I believe that she could do that. Um, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it'd be a nice. There's probably yeah. Defenses include USB device whitelisting via group policy, endpoint detection tools for scanning anomalous keystrokes, and physical port restrictions. So yeah, mice emulate trusted peripherals, exploiting USB plug and play trust. I think that's why they said put it in a mouse, because if it shows up as a mouse, Defender and other endpoint security solutions are gonna pass it through with no issues. For pen testers, it offers a cheap alternative to commercial gear, improving it with Rust for faster injection or remote triggers. I could see this for a physical pen test. Like maybe
Yep.
maybe you bring it in. If you're bringing it in as part of your kit, like you're not going to bring in lock picks or whatever, but you bring in a mouse and you plug it in. Who's going to think a mouse is going to be the thing? So you plug it into a conference room PC or something like that, and somebody uses the PC. Oh, hey, I got a mouse here. Oh, I'm just going to use that mouse. So, and then you've got somebody's login. I could see that as a physical pen test, or where you're trying to, you're supposed to infiltrate something. So maybe you get caught, but you've already dumped the mouse somewhere onto a computer or something like that.
A keyboard keylogger.
Astro Kate says there's a DEF CON talk in our future. Absolutely. If you could, yes, if you could, figure out how to reprogram a mouse, yeah, that would be awesome to do. So that would be definitely a worth a talk.
Even better, a keyboard, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I have a wireless keyboard as well, so I'm just of the future, so it's got lights on it and stuff. Yeah, I don't tend to like wires. So I mean, I'm saying that I have a wire on my headset, but I mean, I use Bluetooth for most everything. So if you could get this mouse to have an implant in it and communicate over Bluetooth, that would be something as well, because then that would almost take away you'd have to communicate over Bluetooth, so you'd have to figure out a way to make it work through that way. The reason it probably works over a wired connection is, well, they said cost, but there's probably another reason for that. Anyway, I think I'm good. Do you want any other talk, any other chat?
No, I think we're good.
Cool.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are watching, I've been doing a lot more short content because if you've noticed on the YouTube channel, sometimes when I take my walks at noontime, because I'm unemployed right now, not for long. I actually do have something that's happening. But I have been finding interesting news stories. Like today, I posted one about the North Koreans using NPM and PIPL packages as part of the recruitment drive for developers. They will put a legitimate package out, and then after it's gotten so many updates, or so many people who've downloaded, like 10,000 or so downloads, it will then push a malicious update. And because people don't check updates, for any naughty bits, people have now been using that 10,000 times, or 10,000 downloads or so, and have now infected themselves because, oh, I'll just use the newest version of that package, which now has an implant in it, or has some kind of shell, or some kind of ugly stuff. I'm doing all right. I had a little bit of a break there, Astrocate, but yeah, we're getting back to normal. It's it's taking its good time, especially in this job market. So, but yeah. I appreciate that, and I hope you're doing well as well. So yeah, I try to find an interesting story, and I try to do about a 30-second to 45-second video, sometimes with me in it, sometimes with me not in it. And yeah, because some of the stuff we'll be doing besides Seattle is doing short little videos with people at the conference, asking questions about that. And as I told Mr. Betcher before I started doing this, a short form is not my forte, or have never done that. So I'm learning, YouTube Creator, CapCut, trying to edit video on a 6.5 inch screen here, which is kind of sucky, but understanding the flow of using ADB to put my phone browser up on my screen here. By the way, Mr. Betcher, if you ever do anything on your phone, you ever do anything on your phone,
Oh,
and
all the
wish that
time. Depends on what.
do you ever do stuff on your phone and wish you had it on your computer? Well, let me just restate that.
That I wish I had on my computer?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah. So like,
oh, yeah, like Excel spreadsheets. That
yeah,
sucks.
me. So there's
But
a
that's
there's a there's an application called
work sometimes.
there's an application called SCR Copy, which right there. So what you do is, so for MacBooks, you download ADB tools, which is the Android debug bridge for Android devices. You install that through like Brew, which is the package manager for OS X. You can also do it on Windows. Uh, and so you turn on ADB debugging on your phone. You connect your phone via USB-C, or you can do it over Wi-Fi. So if you're on the same network as your computer, and then there's a program called SCR Copy, which will take the connection from your phone, your screen on your phone, and put it right on your computer, so that you can interact with your phone directly on your computer. Pretty cool.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I cannot type on that thing. Keyboard, great, but it's just like, wow, it's so slow.
Yeah, I love this thing. I was using it for because there's one of the things that I was trying to do was I was wanting to be able to share things from my phone while I'm streaming. So if I had something formatted on my phone, or if I was trying to make another short or something on my phone, I wanted to be able to record that part of my phone in the mobile app. And yeah, it was a nice little application that I found. So Ginny Mobile is they make ADB. Here, I'll put the link in our show notes there as well. You can look at it. It's number 3 there. They do Android emulators. So Ginny Mobile does GENY Mobile does Android emulators, but they also do these kinds of tools where they remember to turn off notifications when you share your phone. Now, Astrocade, how would you know that I had that issue? I hope that didn't show up in one of my shorts. Anyway, yeah, it definitely does. Anytime somebody messages you, or hey, E-Trade notices that your trade went through, it'll pop up on your screen, which kind of sucks. Which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great tool, and one of the things that the first thing when I saw it, I was like, hey, this is nice, because if you're doing things like mobile uh, research, you can plug your phone into your computer directly. You can do ADB bridge over USB, or you can do it over Wi-Fi. But then it allows you to interact with the phone on your computer, so you can record that instead of whatever. I've seen people sending in things like bug reports or something, and they're taking a screenshot of their phone with another phone, or they're trying to take a video of the screen when they're trying to recreate some shit on with their phone. I'm like, Jesus Christ, people, just learn how to do screen recording. Just learn how to use OBS, for fuck's sake. If you're trying to do a security report or security research, I was like, take some time to learn those tools, because they're going to be invaluable to you and give you a better quality report. But yeah, and then I saw this and I was like, oh, I can use that to put that on my screen. I can, and you can actually interact with it on your mouse on your screen. So when it's popped up on your screen, you can actually make the mobile browser move up and down, and you can
Yeah.
interact with some of the applications. So it's really nice. And of course, with ADB, you can run commands on your mobile device, and flash it with new firmware if you wanted to root it and what have you. So yeah, it's a really nice tool, ADB, for, as if people already didn't know. But SCR Copy is really nice for being able to pull your screen up onto your computer, whether it be OS X or Windows. So anyway, Mr. Betcher, how would people find you if they wanted to chat more about AI or, dark sides of the moon or, you know?
Probably LinkedIn at this time. Yeah.
Okay. And you check that on a regular basis?
Not too often, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I've noticed that my network of cool InfoSec people sometimes aren't always on LinkedIn. So it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
get your network to, recommend you for jobs if if they work there when they don't check their LinkedIn. So yeah,
That is true.
one of the few gripes I have with my InfoSec network, it's like I don't want to be on Mastodon. Apparently, you don't want to be on LinkedIn. So, um, it's like a bird can't swim and a fish can't fly. So where are we gonna live? So that kind of thing. Okay, cool. I'm on LinkedIn as well. You can find me linkedin.com/in/breakb. Miss Berlin, you can also find her on LinkedIn. And yeah, catch me in a couple weeks. I'll be at B-Side Seattle. And April 4th, I'll also be, or April 4th, I will also be in San Diego, B-Side San Diego. So, Mr. Betcher, you going to be at any conferences?
Not anytime soon.
How come? Is that on
Nope.
purpose? Are you too cool now?
No, I just I don't know. Just a lot of things at work that I got to get done, and then of
Mm,
course anytime.
uh-oh. I blame the internet. I think he's about to get kicked off the internet. I think he died. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, see, oh, there he goes. Yeah. Um, well, I'm gonna let him sit there because he's like, I like that. That's funny.
And
Uh, oh, there
I'm
you are.
back.
You're back.
Yeah,
Is there a storm?
internet.
Was there a storm?
It's the 5G that I'm on, the internet, I
Oh, okay.
suppose. Yeah,
Is it?
it's
Yeah,
not fiber.
not yet. Not yet. I don't have fiber either, so
At least it's not dial up.
that's true. That's true.
But
See, you don't go to
technically,
conferences so much anymore.
not so much. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you're not the first person I've seen that has said, yeah, I don't really, it's not that they don't get so much out of that anymore. It's just, um, it's hard to go to sometimes, especially if you don't live in an area that's conducive to having a lot of them, or they're certain times of the year or the weather gets bad. So I
Hmm.
understand. I understand. All right. Well, Astro Kate, thanks Astro Kate for following and hanging out with us on the YouTube channel. If anything we said about science is wrong, please feel free to tell us that we're wrong in the comments below. I'd love to find out about the dark side of the moon, or what's really inside that. The tasty green liquid that I get from my computer is antifreeze. That's probably good to know. Yeah, Astro Kate, it was fun. I appreciate you. So anyway, we're gonna go. BreakSec, you know, is always on the internet, always on YouTube. We try to stream on Tuesdays and Fridays, and whenever we can, Sundays. And yeah, hope everyone has a good week. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. Bundle up if it's cold, and get an umbrella if it's rainy. And take care of yourselves. As I'm fond of saying, you're the only you have. Okay? Take care soon. Bye. Okay. That worked out. 1 second. There you go. Okay. Time to shut off the YouTube. There we go.